Hi, my name is Emily. I am a faithful follower of Christ, and I'm addicted to sugar, flour, and binging. I've been doing bright line eating for almost 2 years, and this is my 20-day update on my most recent sugar detox. So here's lots of good stuff. I hope you stick around to the end. I love you. Let's go. Hey everybody. Okay, 20-day sugar detox update. Obviously, I've been doing bright line eating for pushing 2 years now, but after a relapse, and I mean that in every sense of the word, I totally relapsed in the months of May, June, and July, which is why my weight graph has a big W on it. My weight went up and down as I struggled my way through that relapse, gaining 10 or 12 pounds in 2 weeks and then getting back. It was rough. Okay, so I got myself, I did a 10-day detox just to shock my system and get back on my right lines, and it's going so well that I want to give you guys a 10-day report and tell you what I'm noticing and what is working. This is working 10 days at a time. In my journal, I've even started using a different color. I use my kids' Crayola markers. So for the first 10 days, I didn't realize I was going to do it over and over, so I had different colors. But this 10 days, so it's been the second set of 10, is green. And I give myself a big check mark when I check off the food that I wrote down the night before. I just feel more surrendered than ever because the relapse was so rough. I will not deny how tasty everything was, but after a while you don't taste it. You don't even taste it. Well, you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever binged, you know that after the first few bites, you don't taste it anymore. You're just trying to eat until it's all gone or until you can't eat anymore. And then I would be up all night long. It got me so out of whack. So that 10-day detox included, and I'll add that again here on this one. In fact, I'll add it right here. So that's what I did for 10 days. It's a lot of what bright line eating is anyways, but what was different for me is that I cut out dairy and I cut out starchy vegetables, and I think that's about it. But the protein, the sleep, the quitting cold turkey, all that's kind of what we do anyways on bright line eating. What's working? This is working, doing it 10 days at a time. So down at the bottom of my journal every night, I put a little square for me to check. 10-day day 1 of 10-day detox, day 2 of 10-day detox. That's what it says every morning. And then up in the corner, I put a 1, a 2, or a 3. Now it's 3 because I'm on set 3. So my eyes just see day 2 of 10-day detox, and I just keep going like that. And I want to get to that 10 again, because these 10s are going to stack up. I believe that, and they already are. So I'm 20 days. And here's my report. So what's working? This is working, doing it 10 days at a time. What else is working is, again, I have not gone back to dairy. And dairy has casein in it, which is addictive, which is why pizza is the #1 most addictive food. Flour topped with casein, right? Addiction topped with addiction. I've not touched dairy, and I don't want to. I don't miss it. I'm finding other ways to get calcium in my diet. I feel so free from it. I'm kind of like, I'm sort of repulsed at the idea of like getting myself tangled back up with that. So I'm still off dairy, loving it. Just having some unsweet coconut milk. Still off dairy. Also, still what I noticed from the first 10 days was my sleep and my digestion are so regulated. My hormones are so regulated. Melatonin kicks in at night like I need it to. I have a couple mantras that I live by now. One is, I do not fight ghrelin in the kitchen. I fight it with my head on the pillow. I'm going to repeat that. So ghrelin, Grelin, I guess it's called ghrelin. I've always called it ghrelin. Just kind of like Habakkuk, the book Habakkuk in the Bible. I call it Habakkuk. I think it's Habakkuk. I don't know. I'm saying it wrong, and I'm okay with that. I'm looking at my bank here. It says financial. That's like saying I don't know. It's hard to mispronounce words unless you just do it naturally like I do. Anyways, my point is I'm okay with that. Speaking of the bank, I thought I was on top of things, going to get Charlie and my kid depositing his checks. They're not open for 13 more minutes, so that's why I'm doing this here and now. Thinking that they were going to be open and I could deposit his checks and send him a text with the good news that his money's in the bank was very dopamine releasing for me. I was like, ooh, this is going to be fun. He's going to be so happy. When they weren't open, my brain was immediately like, well, then now what am I going to do? Go home and eat? I'm tired. And I thought, no brain, no. Tally mark. There's my first tally mark for today, right there. No brain, no. Okay, so my sleep and digestion. In the evenings, ghrelin, I've got videos on it. It's the hunger hormone that is released in the evenings, especially for women, that causes us to crave carbs so that we will eat late at night and then go to sleep, which will keep us from starving to death, because when you eat and then sleep, you just gain weight, right? I mean, not necessarily. If you're eating your proper portions, you're fine. But to stuff ourselves like I did for decades, major nighttime binge eater right here. I'm in recovery. That is in large part ghrelin convincing us that we're very, very hungry right before bed. And one of my mantras is, I do not fight ghrelin in the kitchen. I got to get out of there. It has won many times. I fight it with my head on the pillow. I fight it by sleeping. So being 20 days into this current detox, I'm so amazed at how well melatonin starts to release. And when I lay down in bed, I sleep so good, and I sleep all the way till the morning. Unless I drank 64 ounces of water right before I went to bed, then I don't. But anyways, let me encourage you. At night, if you're feeling that desire to binge, run, get out of the kitchen, go to sleep. Consider that your cue to go to sleep. So here's what else has been working. My tally marks have been working, you guys, and there's so much behavioral psychology behind this, so please hear me out. I used to lead a group of women. We called ourselves, they were my sticker babies. I was sticker mama. Some of you might be. I had 4,000 followers and 300 women that considered themselves my sticker babies. It was so much fun. And what we did was we gave ourselves a sticker for every behavior we wanted to reinforce. So it was all positive reinforcement. And then the stickers would add up to different rewards and this and that. So we were rewarding our way to our goal, right? These tally marks, this is some serious stuff. This is serious behavioral psychology. Y'all know my husband and I both taught special education. I'm well-versed, well-trained in behavioral psychology. Dr. Phil says, you don't break a habit, you replace a habit. So there would be a vacuum in your life if you just all of a sudden quit doing something. That's why smokers find success with dum-dum lollipops or something in their hands to start knitting. You've got to replace that, because there's some muscle memory, there's some body memory. Just out of habit, you're going to grab, you're going to want something in your hand. It's a lot of ingrained physical movements, etc. So Dr. Phil says we don't break a habit, we replace it. Jesus Christ says, God says in the Bible, 2 Corinthians 10:5, let us take every thought captive and make it obedient to Christ. So the tally marks are a way to do that. Both replace the habit and take the thought captive, okay? So I want you to imagine, like, when my brain is like, this is my addiction. We could, or I just tell myself I could take a bite of that cake over there. I could just go ahead and throw in the towel and get pizza. I could. No. And what's happening, I'm so happy to report, it's so powerful, you guys. Imagine the word could spelled out with like 20 O's. I could. My brain can't even squeeze that out anymore because I catch it so quick now. Now it's like, you could. No. And then, no. I'm catching it quicker and sooner, and this is what's pivotal. This is trajectory changing. When you catch the behavior, when you realize you are at a fork in the road, you realize you are at a point in the road where you're about to go left or right. You've reached a fork in the road. This is what I used to talk about with sticker babies. You've reached a fork in the road. I cannot stress enough, it is these teeny, tiny, minute seemingly insignificant but very significant moments where you've reached a fork in the road to turn left or right. And if you can recognize that you're at a fork in the road, well, then you can like pause for a moment and make a decision. And you can make the decision to keep going, not take that detour that your body, your addiction, your addicted brain, your addicted body is wanting you to take. So now I am starting to recognize, even without a full sentence in my head, like, you know, I could go for some Burger King. I could go for some fries, or, you know what? It's a special occasion. Let's go get a nice dinner somewhere, right? My brain doesn't even, lately hasn't even been formulating all these thoughts. Now, I was eating my dinner last night, late, after filling out lots of forms for my kids for school, and I gave myself 5 tally marks just because of the feeling. I could feel there was this cake right in my peripheral vision, my daughter's birthday cake, and my body didn't even have a chance to formulate words. It was just a feeling of like of like wanting that cake, and just at the feeling of it, as I sensed and recognized my brain doing that, tally mark, tally mark, tally mark, tally mark, tally mark. I mean, this is training, you guys. We're training our brains. We're retraining our brains. So I told myself, I'm going to just keep giving myself tally marks as long as I go. Now, if I just see the cake, hey cake, right? It's a lot of this is desensitization, right? And that is a very common practice in therapy, where if you have a phobia, you're exposed to it. I used to be terribly phobic of spiders until I moved into this old home we live in, and I've got 5 little babies to protect. Now they don't scare me. I go after them like, rah, rah. I mean, I'm like aggressive towards spiders. I'm like, get over here, you're mine. I'm not scared of them anymore. I'm quite desensitized. I mean, I was so scared of them. I used to be so scared. I was in college and I had a friend come over to get a spider out of my house. Terrified of them. So exposure is going to, if we allow it, if we're conscious and we are strategic, can desensitize ourselves to it. So I want to get to the point where I see the cake and it does not light my brain up. And I was giving myself a tally mark for every time that it did. So I'm taking a negative situation where like my brain is like, I want that cake. Oh, this is a negative moment. I feel sad and deprived. No, it's not. I get a tally mark because I want 100 tally marks so that I can wear the silver ring that I ordered the other day. I ordered myself a ring and decided whenever it comes in the mail, I don't get it until I get my 100 tally marks. I'm not even going to let myself open it. And by the way, you're going to see it because it's going to be on a video called Behavioral Bling, because everything I wear, just about everything I wear, has some type of behavioral reasoning behind it. I use jewelry strategically. So it goes from a negative to a positive. Instead of like, I want that cake. I'm like, I want that cake. Tally mark. 1 tally mark towards getting my little ring. So what used to be, here you go, here's a little alliteration for you. What used to be a temptation time is now tally time. It's gone from negative to positive, and it gives me something to do. It gives me an action to take. So that's really, really been working. All right, so here is what I've noticed after the past 10 days. Drum roll. Automaticity. I'm so happy. Diana, I know you are too. Diana and I nerd out together. Automaticity. This is the first time in 20-something months of doing Bright Line Eating that I've really experienced automaticity. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Automated, automatic. It doesn't take my finite resources, my time, my energy, my focus. Our teeth brushing is automated. There's just so many things in life that we do, that we just do. We don't spend time thinking about it. We don't spend time figuring it out every day. So much is becoming automated. And here's the thing, automaticity begets automaticity. The more that's automatic in my life, the more that can become automatic. And this is not so that I can just be a robot and no longer exist and just kind of go through my life like everything automated. Not at all. This is so that I have more space in my life for more than figuring out my food and figuring out my clothes and figuring out my water drinking. So hear me when I say this. Automaticity creates capacity. Automaticity creates capacity. So with 5 kids and our farm life, there have been times where I'm like, whoa, I'm maxed out up to here. I'm at capacity. Like, I don't think I could take on one more thing. I don't think one of our kids could sign up for one more sport. I don't think my husband can go on one more trip and leave me here. There's been times I felt like I was at capacity. When we automate things, when our food gets automated, which is, by the way, our fuel, when fueling ourselves becomes automated and we're just functioning, firing on all cylinders, feeling better than ever, we have room in our life for other things we want to experience, including connecting with those around us. So a couple good examples of automaticity is this. Millionaires and billionaires often wear white t-shirts every day. You might be able to think of a few of them. I won't name names, but I could think of a few of them that wear white t-shirts every day. That is strategic. That is on purpose. That is so that their brain power can be spent on something other than, what am I going to wear today? Standing there at their closet. Our willpower depletes when we make all those decisions. And by the way, we make something like hundreds, if not thousands, of decisions every day. Millionaires and billionaires wearing white t-shirts, they do it on purpose because they've got some brain power that could be very, very lucrative, and it is for them. Now, money might not be what you're after, but time, right? There's some kind of currency that matters to you. Time with your family, time doing something other than choosing what you're going to wear for the day. So I've been automating my clothing. I told you all in a little 60-second video, I've automated my kids' morning and evening routines, and I do the same for me. At night, clean, comfy clothes. Get clean, get comfy. Lay your clothes out for tomorrow. And I was having them do that, and I started doing it myself. I was like, well, I'm going to get myself clean and comfy and lay my clothes out. For years and years, I did not put on pajamas. I just wore whatever I was wearing and fell over in bed and went to sleep and woke up and wore it again. Holy moly, 5 kids. It's no joke. Clean, comfy clothes at night. Get clean, get comfy. Lay your clothes out. In the morning, bed, body, breakfast. Make your bed. For one thing, so you have that surface to use all day long. Make your bed, get your body ready, your hair, face, and teeth, and eat breakfast. And it just, it hurt me to take the 4th one off, which is Bible. During the summer, I would have the kids, we'd either pray together or we'd read the Bible in the morning. But I'm trusting God to lead me to find time to read the Bible, which I have been. My husband, while he was in the emergency room, I found the chapel in that hospital, got a Bible and sat there and read the Bible while he was having emergency surgery. So there are times, and I pray to God to lead me to find those times during the day to read the Bible. And he is, and for my children also. Another example of automaticity, Mr. Rogers. Oh my gosh. I used to watch Mr. Rogers and I would literally think, that's what I want. Okay. I don't know that everybody thinks that, but I'm like, I want to walk in, take my sweater off, hang it up, take my shoes off, put them down. Notice what he's doing the whole time. Notice the whole time he's automatically taking his sweater off and hanging it up and putting a different sweater on. What's he doing? He's talking to us about things that matter. He has created capacity in his life for more than just sweaters and shoes, because he's not even thinking about those sweaters and shoes. It's so automatic. He takes that sweater off, puts it on a hanger, hangs it up, gets the next one while he's looking at us going, boys and girls, did you know it's good to share? Okay. I love that. Mr. Rogers is an excellent example of automaticity. The man had a lot of things figured out. So I'm super excited about automaticity. I have automated our water drinking, and I've habit stacked. There's one for you. Habit stacked. I have habit stacked where you take one thing you already have in place. Like I have a kid that wants to take his lunch every day. Okay, make that after we eat breakfast in the morning while we've already got the kitchen going. It's not its own separate thing. We tie it to something that's already happening. My daughter needs to water the flowers and my son needs to water the dogs. I already water myself, so I tied it in with that. So while I stand there and fill my jugs of water, I go ahead and fill the one for the dogs and fill the one for the flower. I'll show you that now. Water for the dogs, water for the plant, water for me today. There's my gallon. I have also automated my meals. I'm so excited about this, you guys. 3 meals a day, and I've pretty well got a sweet breakfast, a crunchy lunch, and dinner is either hot or a large salad. I look forward to more protein at lunch. I hope I get it when I get to my goal weight and I can add another protein, but it is working really well for me to start the day with something sweet, meaning some type of cereal and banana or peanut butter, my natural peanut butter with a little cereal on top with a banana with some cinnamon. It's just, it just works really well for me to have a somewhat sweet lunch, sweet breakfast, crunchy lunch, and dinner is either hot or a large salad. One of the two. I'll show you that here. And one more thing that's really been working is being such an advocate for myself. So here's what I do. When I go to restaurants now, I take my food. And when they get to me to take my order, I say, no thanks, I'm on a special diet. I brought my own food. No one is going to give me a hard time about that. If they go get the manager and say, no, you're not allowed to bring your own food in here, I'd say, well, I'm on a special diet. I need to. And, if I wanted to, I could just kind of go into a big, long spiel about addiction and just keep talking until their eyes are crossed. Okay, lady, whatever you want. Or I could say, okay, then please help me get 4 ounces, 14 ounces, and 1 fat. Anyways, I have no problem at all taking my food into a restaurant, because the way I used to see it, I could do one of 3 things. Go in there and binge and lose my mind. That's no good. Go in there and sit and not eat anything with my family. That's pretty hard. Or go in there and try my best to get 4 ounces of this and 14 of that, and it's just a little bit awkward. When I could bring it myself in a little kind of like inconspicuous little dish and have the perfect amount. I always tell people I'd rather eat at home because I get more food and better food, right? It's just not the same when you go to a restaurant. I mean, don't get me wrong, a little 4-ounce hunk of steak is pretty good, but typically my salads are better than their salads. So that's been working also. Guys, I think that's it. That's my 20-day update. So I am still doing my detox. I'm on day 21 right now, but according to my journal, and I'll show you that here. Red flag because I ate my breakfast at 2 a.m. Red flag. Let's go back to that for a second. That was a night I was struggling with some ghrelin, went to bed and still got back up to come eat a meal. I believe that was the right choice to make that in that moment, but boy, it's a red flag because it sets me up the rest of the day to only have these 2 meals. It's just, I put myself in somewhat of a danger zone, but that danger zone started by staying up so late. Anyways, this journey is not perfect, and we just want to keep moving forward, right? By the way, I love the quote, if you're going through hell, keep going. Keep going. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Okay, so red flag, I don't want to do that. I don't want to eat my meals at 2 a.m. I want to sleep first and let my hormones level back out. Okay. There it is, day 10 of 10-day detox, set 2. Here I am on day 1 of 10-day detox, set 3, with my orange marker. According to my journal, I'm on day 1 again, and that's how I'm going to think of it. This is day 1 of set 3, and the color is orange, and that is meaningful because I associate orange with fresh, new. I think of it like the color of an orange, which is like citrus and yummy and just so good. So what's the word? Vitality. There's a lot of vitality. There's just vitamins and minerals and goodness and freshness and newness. And 2 Corinthians 5:17, the old is gone, the new is here. Let's just celebrate that. I love you guys. We'll talk again soon. Bye. All right, so final thought here. And look, I've got my errand running makeup on. Fancy. Hi, puppy. Hi, Jubilee. You're a good girl. Look at her sitting. Can you sit? Good girl. Good girl. I'll get you a hot dog in a minute. I was going to pay big bucks to get these poodles trained until I discovered they will do anything for a little piece of a hot dog. So I might have just saved myself lots of money. Okay, final thought. By the way, Michelle, look, it's that, oh, what's it called, Michelle? What's the color of this lipstick? I gotta go look it up. Okay, so here's my final thought. When you're doing tally marks, this is important. This is important. Tally mark talk. Don't dilute the currency. Don't ever make it 1-to-1. 1 tally mark for 1 fork in the road decision. So 1 tally mark for every time your brain's like, hey, why don't we have some cake? That's a good idea. It's not a good idea. You get 1 tally mark for that thought. Now, if that happens again, 20 seconds later, another tally mark. But my point is, just because some people want to say, oh, but it was a really, really, really hard moment, I'm going to give myself 5 tally marks. Don't do that. It's still just 1 tally mark. This is important for behavioral psychology. 1 tally mark for every 1 decision, every time you made the right decision at that fork in the road, no matter how hard that particular decision was. Or the currency will get diluted. It will not mean what it meant. And at first, you're going to be earning tally marks for your brain going like, come on, let's eat it, let's do it. Eventually, as it starts working, as this whole behavioral method works, you'll be giving yourself a tally mark when you just barely hear this tiny, tiny voice go, hey, and you'll be like, shut up, tally mark, right? It won't even have time to like become this big, overwhelming idea. Anyways, 1-to-1. 1 tally mark for every 1 time you took the thought captive, for every 1 time that you did not binge when your brain was trying to tell you to binge. So don't ever give yourself 5 for 1, no matter how hard it is. It's got to be 1-to-1. That's very, very important. Look at this. This is what I was talking about, and I want to show you something. I'm doing this right now with you all by my side. Okay, this is buttercream icing. I am not giving myself a tally mark at all for this moment because I'm not lighting up. Can you tell? I sort of feel like I'm holding a hairbrush. I feel no more tempted. Literally, I'm paying attention right now with what's going on in my brain and my body. My blood pressure's not rising. You know, before every binge, I would start shaking because I was like, it's gonna happen. The dopamine was being released just from the idea of binging. In fact, more dopamine was being released. Susan Pierce Thompson talks about this. More dopamine's released from the moment you decide you're gonna binge than from the actual binge. That's interesting, isn't it? So I'd be like shaking. I mean, literally like so much dopamine's flowing through my veins. I'm so excited about the binge that's about to happen because I've already decided it's going to happen. Nothing right now. See this? Nothing. It's doing nothing for me. I'm not tempted to eat any of those hairs. See this? Nothing. It's doing nothing for me right now. I don't feel tempted. Now I don't want to like start smelling it and fondling it, and I want to sense it less, but right now I'm doing a little exposure therapy to me and you. Okay. Look at that. Nothing. Okay, I just did that to be funny, and I'm really gonna have purple fingers for a while. Okay, my point is, no tally mark right now because I'm not tempted right now. So, 2 tally mark, important tally mark things. Don't tally mark when you're not tempted, right? And always keep it 1 to 1. Hold on. Don't tally mark when you're not tempted. Make sure you're actually tally marking when you get to a fork in the road. Always make it 1 to 1. Don't ever give yourself more than 1 tally mark for 1 fork in the road. And feel free to tally mark the heck out of yourself. Hebrews 12:2. Let us keep our eyes fixed on Jesus. Feel free. You saw me the other day. I earned 16 tally marks in one afternoon. 4, sometimes 4, 5, 6 in one meal. You cannot over reward yourself. Because some people are like, no, then it's almost like what, you're going to spoil yourself. I'm giving myself a ring that I ordered that I was going to give myself anyways. I mean, you're not going to spoil yourself, but you could dilute it if you gave yourself 5 for only 1. You get it? Look at my purple fingers from that icing. All right, Michelle. Michelle, this is for you. Michelle's my #1, my original sticker baby. All right, girl. Grenadine, that's my shout out to Michelle. I sent that to her. Also, this is not exactly automated, but it's been simplified. My beverages. Years ago, I did the shred diet, and this man kept talking about beverages. What beverages are you going to drink? And that opened my eyes to beverages. It made me realize there are so many things we drink that aren't soda, that aren't sugar mixed with water, right? So I want to tell you all, I have simplified my beverages. So that's another thing over these past 20 days that has worked really, really well. Now my beverages consist of a gallon of water every day. I drink 2 of these every day, 64 ounces. Then some days, like today, I have decaf coffee mixed with unsweet coconut milk. So that's one of my beverages. Matthew 6:11, give us this day our daily bread, not our monthly loaf. Gallon of water, decaf and unsweet coconut milk, hot tea. Hot tea has become my 3 p.m. Oh, I've just hit a wall. Hot tea. And this is very, very tricky for me because I have very, very low blood pressure. So I had to find a tea that I could drink because a lot of tea lowers your blood pressure. And if I lowered mine anymore, that'd be bad. Hot tea when I've hit the wall in the afternoon. It's just been such a perfect solution. I want to report that. Also, with my dinner at a restaurant or at home, I have seltzer water. So I just got seltzer water, and whose Sprite is this? We don't drink sugar. What in the world? Hershey's syrup? I'm so embarrassed. I'm kidding, I'm not. Okay, here you go. Great value seltzer water. And I quit drinking anything that has natural flavors in it because, well, I go into that on my Endure Enjoy video. Natural flavors are not natural. So I take that seltzer water, I pour it over ice, and I put natural flavor in it. So, guys, that's it. I'm gonna run errands. Anybody want to go with me? Lowe's, Kroger. I'm going to go to Kroger and get some Ezekiel bread. Ezekiel 4:9 flourless bread. I love you. I'll talk to you in 10 days. Bye.